Hey YouTube, and welcome to another installment of repairing my Civic. Get it onto a nice drivable condition. So as you can see, I've done just a few little changes on the car. It's just very basic, like just inject the cover, just to spray paint it. But one of the issues that I've picked up while I was driving was the car overheating. It's crazy. Seeing the temperature gauge going all the way up, so you have to do some fault finding when it comes to it. So normally there's three things that you can look out for, or three things that can cause this car to overheat. One of them is a faulty fan switch. The second one is the thermostat that most probably gone. But the third one, which is the most common one, which is your radiator cap that went. So there is ways for us to test those things, right, to make sure that all three of them is working, or which ones to replace. In this instance, planning on replacing all three: the radiator cap, the fan switch, and the thermostat. And I'm going to show you how we are going to do that. But what we are going to start off with is to first of all test your fan switch. And the way to test your fan switch is to unplug this switch over here, which is your fan switch. If you unplug it, let me just, there's a little clamp here. Let's see. Let's just quickly get it out of. Alright, so as you can see, this is the fan switch that you get over here. There's two pins. What you can do is you can plug in a hairpin or a hair clip. All of this information I'm getting here, I'm actually also getting from one of the famous YouTubers. I will put his link on the description below. But what you do is you're going to take a paper clip and then plug it into the two holes, just to bypass the switch on your ignition and your AC fan, and then we'll see if the fans are actually going to come on. That is the first test that you do. If it doesn't come on, then you know that your fan switch, which is this one over here, is faulty. Second one that you can test, maybe if it's your thermostat, is to feel after you have driven. If this specific pipe, if this pipe is hot and you feel here at the bottom where the fan is and it's cold, then you know that the thermostat is not working. Basically the thermostat is not regulating the heat that is coming from the motor. So normally when the car gets hot, the thermostat will recognize it and then release a valve, which will then flow the water downwards, so that the car or the engine can remain cooler than what it should be. Then the third one that causes a lot of issues is a thermostat. Now a thermostat is one of the problems of the Civic. As you can see here, I've noticed that my thermostat has gone completely. So you can see that this thing broke off completely here, and there's some parts there inside, the pressure valve and the spring, which is still inside. So those I'm going to take off as well. So that's what we are going to replace. So the first thing that we are going to do is to drain the radiator of all the water. And normally how you do that is at the bottom. Let me just quickly get on all fours. So at the bottom, this little white screw, just there. Right, so as you can see, just here at the bottom, there's this little plastic knob right there. So what you're going to do is you're going to just loosen it up with pliers. Loosen it up with some pliers. Let's just quickly get it there. make sure that you have just a little bucket or something just to keep it in. So you don't need to completely remove the cap, just keep it in its place, but loosen it nicely so that the water starts flowing out. To make it go quicker, you can obviously open up the radiator cap so that the water flow out a bit quicker. So you let that drip out and wait for that to finish. Alright, so the radiator has been drained completely. We have unclipped the fan switch. So the next thing that we need to do is to remove the housing for the thermostat. So you see there's two loose clamps just here. You can just loosen it. It's gonna make it just a bit easier for you to gain access to the housing. So you remove the one and remove the second one here at the bottom. Okay, so the two pipes are out. The next thing that you need to do is there's two screws or two nuts, one right over here and one right over there. I'll just show you there, and the other housing is right, the bolt is there. So what you're going to need is a 10-inch ratchet. Loosen it up just so that we can get it out. Alright, so this is the housing. As you can see, it's quite dirty. That's the fan switch that we have to replace as well. And then you will see just there is where your thermostat is. Right, so we're going to take that thermostat out. Shouldn't be too difficult to do. It's a matter of just pulling it out of its place. With this seal, and there we go. So this is the old thermostat that we are going to replace today. Okay, and then like I said, we're going to replace the switch. So let me just quickly clean up this unit so that I can take it off. Alright, so we can see that we have this housing clean. So now next step for us now is to remove the fan sensor. What we're going to need there is a 14 spanner. Might be bigger. Let's just make sure. Might be more. Alright, so I think what we are first going to do is install the thermostat. So this is the new thermostat that we have here. You can see comes with this sealant, and now this works. The sealant is gonna go, there's a little groove in here, as you can see, and that groove is gonna go straight into this gaps here. Work it through and work it through. Okay, well, that is in. This area with the spring is the one that goes in first into the spot we have taken it out, and you will see that. Just keep it in there, or the other option that you have is just placing it straight into the housing itself. As you can see, just here, the opposite way around. So now that you have it ready like this, you can just insert it into your housing, and then from there we'll replace the fan switch. Alright, so we have just installed the thermostat. The next thing that we need to do is remove the fan switch and then replace that fan switch with the new one. So what you're going to need here is a 24 spanner or ratchet, and then you're going to just loosen this up, just one quick lever, and then the rest you can just unscrew open as well. So as you can see, this is the old one. We are going to replace it with the new switch. As you can see, this is the new switch, brand new. What we're going to do is just screw it in there. And take your 24 again and just tighten it up nicely. Team, guys, just to be on the safe side, remove your negative. We don't want any sparks flying here. We all value life. Let's just get it in there, get it nice and solid. Don't use too much force. Get it nice. Next part that we're going to do is just put in the fan switch back in its place. Here we go. Then going to place all the pipes back in its area. Move all the clamps back in its place. Alright, so we have installed our fan switch. The pipes with its clamp hoses are in its place. Next thing that we need to do is to flush the radiator and then replace the cap, the radiator cap, which got heavily damaged, I think due to the thermostat being how can I say, being broken. So there was no means for the water flow to go to the bottom of the engine. So let's remove all these small debris that is in the radiator. I'm just going to take just a long nose and just take all these pieces out. There we go. So remember that we stated we already drained the radiator, so we can just screw the hole closed again. As you can see here, just tighten it up again, and then just to be on the safe side, tighten it up with your hand and then tighten it further up. Which in Afrikaans we call it a knijptang. So let's just close it with a knijptang. Okay, closed. What we need to do next, get some antifreeze. Now we're going to top it up, some antifreeze and some water. Let's just get this started.